Hello, friends. This is Chandrakant from Akulmak, and welcome to Dr. Speak. Today's subject is very interesting. We would like to discuss something which affects everyone, whether you're what color you are, what caste, which country you belong. It affects everyone. So, before I spill the beans, let me invite my friend, Dr. Pooja Bedi, to talk about this subject. So, welcome, Dr. Pooja.
Very good morning, CK. Hope you're keeping all fine.
We are fine so far. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I think today we are very good.
Right.
So, doctor, we want to discuss about something related to vitamin D. This is something which is not present in our food, and it has to be generated within the body. I think it is affecting the entire human race, and the deficiency of vitamin D is a big issue, and we would like to discuss this today. What is your opinion? How we can first of all, you can explain, how vitamin D helps us in our day-to-day living.
Yes, of course. So, actually, vitamin D is a component which works as a nutrient as well as a hormone. So, it is also called as sunshine hormone. So, you can say it's a happy hormone to a certain extent. I'm not saying that more you sit in the light and you produce vitamin D to such an extent where it produces the toxicity. So we need an exposure of 10 to 30 odd minutes. And specifically, actually, the noon time is the time, as per the research, which says that if we expose ourselves during the noon time, but not to a very high temperature outside in summers, so that much exposure is well enough to produce this beautiful sunshine hormone, or you can say vitamin D, which is very, very important for so many physiological functions for humans, not only including the mental health but as well as the physical health. Let me share one study, CK, that I went through, that people in the hills, specifically in Himachal or anywhere, people who are living in the hills, they are less exposed to the sunlight somehow. So there was a study that was conducted in the school in which it was found that almost 80% of the children in Himachal Pradesh or any hill city or state are actually suffering from the vitamin D deficiency, which is such a crucial nutrient for general growth of the bones, muscles, and other physiological functions. But since we are only aware that it helps in the growth of the bone, muscle, and for the teeth, but there are many other aspects of this beautiful vitamin. Yes, you are very right in mentioning that we don't get this hormone from the diet, but there are no fortified supplements that are available, to compensate for the deficiency. So we can go for it. Or maybe the people who are actually into marine produce, so they still get the some form of vitamin D. But the best form is to expose yourself to the sunlight for 10 to 30 odd minutes, specifically in the noon time. There's one more point that I would like to recommend. Since the elderly people or the group or the population, they are more uh, into early rising. So if they can do the sun gazing, this when the sun is rising, that is the right time to do the sun gazing, where you have to look at the sun for say 30 odd minutes. You can blink your eyes, but the more you expose yourself, specifically the elderly group, it is very, very beneficial to improve many physiological functions that are related to vitamin D. And it helps in building immunity, you know. Thank God, because of the COVID, people are now more aware that vitamin D and zinc and there are many other elements which play crucial role in the immunity as well. So in day-to-day life, I would say vitamin D is very crucial in children in the form of growth of the bone, muscle. It helps to prevent the tooth decay and many other functions, So, but as we grow, if you talk about the middle age group or the ladies specifically who are undergoing the menopause, they tend to suffer the osteoporosis more, you know. So it is highly recommended that they should either be taking the fortified supplements or maybe calcium, expose themselves to the sun for the better bone strength later on in the life, where they become less fragile for the fractures and other manifestations that comes along with the age.
Doctor, what I noticed is that uh, most of us are vegetarian. I mean, if you look at India, and now the veganism is also is on the rise, and vitamin D usually is not found in the plant, so there are no way the vegetarians will get it in their diet. They have to expose themselves to the sunlight, as you rightly mentioned out. In the olden times, there used to be a lot of outdoor activities. For every small thing, people have to step out of the house, and even being a vegetarian, there was not a dire strait with regard to vitamin D, because you have to step out in the sun and your body will generate. With the lifestyle now, where you have to stay indoors, and if you're vegetarian, and it's a question of principle basically. If you are a vegetarian, you really don't want to go and change your diet just because of vitamin D. I think that is multiplying the situation here. What is the what it causes? I mean, if suppose you don't have vitamin D in adequate amount in your body, what are the effects that you see as a normal human beings?
That's such a right question you have asked at the right time, CK. Because of the lockdown, as such, we are less exposed because we are staying indoors. That is the one factor which is producing the deficiency of the vitamin D, which is directly related somehow to the mental health care, which I keep on talking a lot about. So, vitamin D, if we are less exposed to the sunlight, it's very obvious the vitamin D level will go down. Once it goes down, it somehow causes, or you can say the study was conducted where it was found that many mental health issues, depression, or people suffering from anxiety, they tend to have extremely low level of vitamin D. Even if you go to any psychiatrist or clinical psychologist these days, specifically in this past 1 year, the cases have risen to a greater extent. And if the blood test is performed, you will get to know that vitamin D is lacking tremendously. And second point that you highlighted, that vegetarians, yes, they tend to suffer a lot because we don't. I myself is a pure vegetarian, so yes, vitamin D deficiency is something that we should be monitoring about. So how we can compensate it is the mushrooms are very good source, almond milk, soy milk, but these are not to such an extent where they will compensate for the daily needs. So we somehow are required only to get exposed to the sunlight for 10 to 30 odd minutes, maybe a walk, playing some sort of sports. So these kind of things can really help you to come out of vitamin D deficiency. Now, coming to the second part of the question, where you asked that what vitamin D deficiency can lead to. First is the considering the present scenario, mental health issues, definitely depression, anxiety. There are so many cases that have popped up. And if I myself have a patient, I got his vitamin D level checked. It was, matlab, when we say that it is to a lower extent, it was to the lowest extent in his body. So I recommended him sachets of vitamin D along with calcium for 6 odd weeks, and he improved a lot with exposure to sunlight for sure for some time. So the deficiency first can lead to mental health issues, which we kept on ignoring for a good long time. Second is it depends on the age wise. Specifically talking about the children who are going to school, if they don't get the vitamin D's in the sufficient amount, their muscle and bone strength tend to suffer. So they are definitely required to have a good source of vitamin D. Maybe cereals they really add on in the breakfast time. Kids are in hurry. We ourselves are in hurry. But yes, cereal along with milk can really help a lot. A fistful of nuts, as I always recommend, because it's not that vitamin D is only related to the absorption of the calcium. Magnesium and phosphorus, they are such crucial minerals which are absorbed only because of the vitamin D. So in kids, it can lead to rickets, like there's a disease in which the bow legs are formed, and the IQ can also be brought down to a greater lower level. As we proceed to age group of ours, 40s, we are talking about this age group, we tend to suffer from bone density disorders. And later on, as the female progress to the menopausal stage, it can lead to osteoporosis to such an extent where they become more fragile and vulnerable to fractures and bones related issues. So this actually more or less depends on the age we are talking about. In the elderly age group, as we progress, not elderly, older age group, then too you tend to see the fractures more, and in kids also, because bones become more fragile now. So it's so important that vitamin D levels should be kept in check. Exposure to sunlight is a must. Supplements, if somebody is deficient, then one can have supplements, and fortified food in form of cereals, soy milk, almond milk, where the additional vitamin D is there. So somehow it tends to compensate for it. So it's not that it only affects the bone, it affects the immunity, it affects the how we overcome any kind of injury, because immunity effect is there. So it's very important that we should keep vitamin D in check. In turn, it will keep the check on calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. It can indirectly actually lead to insomnia as well. It's very surprising. People will, if you go for more detailing into it, so if vitamin D is deficient, it's very obvious that the magnesium absorption will be troubled. In case it happens, magnesium is one of the factors that actually leads to sleep disorders, along with melatonin, which is a hormone. So that's a different aspect of it. So yes, vitamin D can actually lead to somehow uh, sleep disorders, insomnia as well. But there is a one good factor that I want to share. Vitamin D can actually lead to weight loss. So if somebody is uh, having a very good, adequate amount of vitamin D, it somehow leads to one hormone is there, it controls it. So if it controls, when it controls it, automatically effect is there. We get into habit of nibbling. So that nibbling habit is somehow controlled because the appetite is controlled by this particular hormone. So yes, intake of vitamin D and calcium actually help you reduce the weight as well. So it's a good news for the ladies who are working a lot these days to get maintain their weight. So it can be a good solution. But I again recommend, please be aware about the toxicity of the vitamin. So all the vitamins, in case they go or the minerals goes into excess, they can affect the kidney function and the other functions of the body.
Dr. Pooja, I think nowadays even the men are worried about the weight gain. I think it's a good news for both men and women that if you have adequate vitamin D, you can keep your weight in check. And like yourself, I'm a vegan. So you mentioned some of these things like mushrooms and milk. I think for the vegan diet, even these things are ruled out. So the only option we are left with is sunlight, I guess, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. You're very right.
So, what are the activities we should, at what time? In fact, you already mentioned that the morning hours, maybe half an hour, do some exercise to replenish your vitamin D in the body. But if the vitamin D is very low, I mean, if the tests are done and vitamin D is very low, how they can replenish that? And while they change their lifestyle of getting up early and exposing themselves to the sun, is there some sort of medicine or something which is available?
Yes. Coming to again to there are two parts in the question. So dealing with the first part of the question, since I mentioned that the requirement varies with the age, kids require more because they are in the developing stage. For them, in case they are vegans and vegetarians, and if the daily requirement is not meeting up, they should ideally be sent to play outdoors in sun. So I'm not saying send your kids around 1 o'clock in the summertime. I'm not recommending that. But around 5, 4:30 or 5, so we can definitely send. I send both my kids around 4:30 every day. Let it be extreme winter or whatever the summer time is there. So 4:30 is such an ideal time they should be out playing in the sun for maybe for 1 hour. that will just meet the requirement of the vitamin D that they require. But as we age, the physical activity also gets down. This is why I highly recommend somehow the sun gazing. So, in case the elderly people who get up early, so it's so good if they do the sun gazing early in the morning. So when the older age group is sitting outside early in the morning, they can have a sip of tea along with the newspaper reading for half an hour. That is fair enough. Ideally, they should be sitting and with the very mild exercises or the yoga that they do every day. For our age group, we are pretty much aware that since we are the one who really exhaust our body a lot in mental and physical aspects, so if we get the time to expose ourselves, that is the first preference to sun. In case we are not able to for some reason, then the supplements are there to compensate for it. But then you have to keep a check on it. As I mentioned, the toxicity should not happen, so we have to regularly keep check on it. One recommendation from my side: if we diagnose or somebody gets to know that they are deficient in vitamin D, they are required to undergo blood test frequently, or maybe often, not frequently but often. Maybe after 6 odd months to 8 odd months, when they start with the vitamin D supplement, they must get a test done again just to monitor if they have reached that level. If they reach that level, then try to get exposed to the sunlight so that your requirement is met. One last point, please. The older age group, when they come, how we get to know is they keep on complaining that they feel the pain in the sole of their, you know, feet. So if this is the strong indicator that either their pain in the calf is there, or when they're complaining something related to the pain in the feet, so we must consider it and let the vitamin D test done. So it is very, very crucial.
I think you have given a good tip today, and the best solution for bringing the vitamin D levels up is basically exposing yourself to the sunlight. But just in case you are a vegan or a vegetarian and you are still deficient on vitamin D, you have to take the supplement. And that brings me to the last question, which is a very vital one. These supplements may not be vegetarian, so it creates a dilemma for the vegetarian people to go for these supplements. Is it not right when I'm asking that these supplements are coming from the animals?
Well, see, vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin. All right, they are water soluble and they are fat soluble vitamin. So vitamin D specifically is a fat soluble vitamin. And even if the byproduct, if we are having it, there's nothing wrong in it. The ice creams, they have animal products. So if I would highly recommend that one should actually have supplements, or if they are so strict about the diet, then please go for fistful of nuts. That is the first recommendation. Second is to have a lot of soya milk and almond milk along with mushrooms. If you have one fistful of nuts, one collection of nuts, along with one full glass of warm milk every day, it will suffice the need somehow. So I recommend this thing to vegans. They are so strict for supplements. So please don't be so strict, because body is something that we should cater for first. And there's nothing wrong in taking the supplement as well in case you not expose yourself to the sun.
So I think it's a great tip, doctor. It was my pleasure talking to you today, specifically with regard to vitamin D, which is largely ignored by everyone, whether it's India or outside India. Everyone seems to ignore vitamin D, and they focus on other things. So there are supplements for any other thing like protein and carbs and things like that, but this thing is totally ignored. So we thought we'll discuss this with you and bring to the world how important it is, and how it helps you in leading a very healthy physical and mental life. So thank you very much once again for finding time and coming on our show and discussing this very important aspect.
Pleasure as usual, CK. Thank you so much and have a very good day.
Thank you. And we will catch up next week again on something very interesting. Until then, bye bye.
Bye bye.